Look, this time of year, people are already making resolutions to create change in the new year. Now, it can be things like going to the gym more regularly, eating better, or even trying to save a couple of bucks.
And for years, people have said it takes 21 days to build a habit. But is that true? Let's verify.
Our sources for this question: Jackie Greco, a licensed clinical mental health counselor with Sun Counseling and Wellness, and a study on habit forming done by Philippa Laley. The thought that it takes 21 days to build a habit goes back decades.
That is actually a myth that came from the 50s when a plastic surgeon wrote a paper about when patients are getting used to looking at their new face after they've received plastic surgery, and how he noticed that it took an average of 21 days for an old mental image to dissolve and for a new image to take place, which then I think was misinterpreted and rolled with to become the idea of being, well, 21 days of completing a task. That means that you've built a new habit.
The study by Philippa Laley took 96 volunteers and investigated the process of forming a habit. The volunteers chose an eating, drinking, or activity behavior to carry out daily in the same context for 12 weeks. Each day, they recorded whether they carried out the behavior. 82 of the participants provided sufficient data for analysis.
What she found was that on average, it takes about 2 months or 66 days before a new behavior becomes automatic. For some people, it took as little as 18 days. For some people, it took as much as 254 days to form a new habit.
There is no one reason for why it takes some people longer and some people shorter to form a habit. Instead, Greco says there are a variety of reasons.
It really depends. It depends on the behavior itself that you're trying to change. It depends on the person. And it depends on the circumstances that are both in and out of people's control when they're trying to change.
The study found missing one opportunity to perform the behavior did not affect the habit formation process. Greco agrees.
When we are only focused on the goal of whether or not we completed that task, what we're not focusing on are building those conscious behaviors and processes to make sure that we're actually incorporating a new habit into our daily life.
So we can verify that no, it doesn't always take 21 days to form a habit.
Now, if you have something you'd like verified, I would love to hear from you. You can email us at verify@wcnc.com.